Now let's start this launch webinar. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining this exciting event where we're going to announce a groundbreaking product. I'm Kissen. I'm thrilled to share with you the world's first messenger with AI long-term memory. It's a messenger with AI with memory. I know you're definitely wondering, who the hell are you and why the hell do I need another messenger when I already have 5, 6, or more? Well, let me first answer, who the hell am I? I'm Kissen. I've been on the journey exploring AI and long-term memory for 3 years. So more than 3 years ago, I co-founded Mindverse AI, where we built the agent store MindOS and a personal second brain MeBot. For me, AI second brain with memory solved personal information overload. But along the path, I realized that actually 70 to 80% of the information was work-related. So among the 170 messages I send out daily, probably only 20 are personal. So before I need a second brain for myself, I probably need a separate second brain for work. And that led me to Tanka. We live in a world where communication is everywhere, yet nothing stays in one place. Organizations worldwide use an average of 112 SaaS applications and at least 2 communication tools, including emails. Well, think about your day. You wake up to emails, WhatsApp pings, calendar invites, you reply, jump to Jira, compare updates, read notifications, and then all of a sudden, disturbed by Slack message. Hey, why is this project delayed? Knowledge workers spend about 2.5 hours per day searching for information. And they switch between apps every 6 minutes on average, causing a 40% reduction in productivity due to cognitive load. More and more people are becoming ADHD due to the information overload and shorter attention span. And if you're a manager, it gets worse. Think about the last time someone resigns. How many hours did your team spend on handover? Ever thought, why can't we just upload their knowledge to the cloud and then download it to the new hire? You're not alone. Fortune 500 companies lose $31.5 billion annually due to knowledge loss caused by employee turnover. But let me tell you, today is the day you say goodbye to those pain. Tanka is your painkiller. It's not just another messaging app, not just another productivity tool. It's your digital employee in the form of a software. It's an extension of your mind. It's an extension of your team's collective intelligence. A digital employee with the whole world's public knowledge and all of your team's memory, who keeps learning and evolving with your team 24/7 in the form of a software. We think that that is the next generation of SaaS. Remember how SaaS changed the way we used software? With modular templates, well, it was great invention compared to traditional software, but SaaS still has its problems.
The problem is that they're not so smart and they're not so easy to use. So
I'm not sure if you can hear the voice or not. We seem to have some problem with the sound here. So the problem is they are not so smart and not so easy to use. Great that you can hear the sound.
the problem,
right. Now, the thing is with, think back to the BlackBerry keyboard. Before the iPhone, that was the standard interface. SaaS interface today, well, it's the same thing, right? Too many buttons, too much friction. And today, we're going to hide these interfaces behind intelligence, so you get work done just by talking. Introducing Tanka, the clean, easy, and smart interface, as easy as the touch screen, and as smart as the iPhone. Actually, no, smarter than the Apple Intelligence. Now I'm going to show you some amazing things Tanka can do for you and your team. We know you don't want another messaging app. Tanka is an all-in-one place to check the important messages. It integrates with email and with other messaging tools, so you don't have to switch. And for marketing folks who need to reply to colleagues on Slack and to clients on email, this is amazingly smooth. And soon we'll integrate with Notion, Google Docs, Jira, Asana, and so on. And what's better? AI Smart Reply. This is Smart Reply. Am I kidding? Yes, I am. This is Tanka Smart Reply. No buttons, no prompts, no templates. Just swipe up. And this is quite addictive, I'm telling you. It's really smooth, isn't it? But it's still not enough for us. We want it to be in your language style, with your work memory, and across all integrated platforms. What do I mean? You'll see. In your language style. With few short learning, Tanka mimics your own language style. It can be casual and fun with your colleagues, and polite and patient with your clients. It can even have emoji. So if you compare this message with the previous message that I sent, this is way much more brief, because that's how I communicate with my team. And it can sometimes be even more bossy than myself, really. So the more you chat on Tanka, the better it learns from your style. And two, with your work memory across all platforms. Where sometimes clients and investors send us messages that require specific data or information. And other AI tools won't give you the accurate answers because they don't know. Well, here's the difference. Tanka responds with memory, and its memory is from and applicable to all platforms. Imagine this. A friend messaged you on your private mailbox, asking for information about your product. Now, instead of crafting a long product introduction yourself, Tanka writes this exact answer for you within a second. And it can even reply to schedules. So someone asks you about schedule, it has access to your calendar, and it can smart reply with the right schedule. 3, there are times where we receive voice messages, and we probably don't have time to listen to it yet. But don't worry, Smart Reply reads voice message too. And it even reads files and gives reply without you even opening the file. And what if you want to reply to earlier messages? Can't just swipe up, right? Don't worry. You can also reply to any specific message. Just right-click. There you go. And what if you don't like the reply? Can you change? Yes, of course. You have full control. You're the one who chooses whether to send it out or not. If the response is not nice enough, you can always regenerate or edit before sending. And if you have a specific idea in mind, you can type in a few words and let AI generate a full answer. And what's even better, very soon, by the end of this month, you can just speak and swipe. With Smart Reply, you can send elegant, sophisticated emails back to your clients while holding your morning espresso, walking to your office. Now, let's talk about AI memory, where it comes from and why it changes everything. On average, 140 billion messages are sent on WhatsApp every day, equivalent of 46 messages per person per day. Now, think about the most important message that you sent last week, last month. Can you still recall? Every day, so much information gets exchanged through conversations, but less than 1% retained. And the retained information, it overloads your brain and makes you more and more anxious and forgetful. Now Tanka solves that. We built a whole set of memory model called MemGraph to retrieve useful information from your chats, email, documents, and so on. And then we structure every piece of the memory into a knowledge graph, just like an index of a book. And the graph updates itself and connects the dots. When more complicated tasks are required, it then generates all these connected dots together and generate the answer. Let's look at the memory my Tanka extracts for me. It's organized in such a beautiful way. It shows you your follow-ups first, and then what you have already done, and what insights or decisions get shared. And you can check your checklist or add any to-do to the calendar. So it will remind you. So this is perfect for folks who like to send reminders to themselves on email or on WhatsApp, because all these messages goes to Tanka and then goes to your checklist here. memgraph is very different from the popular vector database or RAG technologies companies usually use. So basically, it's like a list of book names versus an intelligent and smart librarian. What can a librarian do? They can give you not only the book names, but also book insights. And they can even discuss with you and give you additional inspirations. And that's exactly what Tanka AI Assistant can do with memory. You can ask it to summarize your work, like here right now, summarize my performance and achievement in the last quarter, and here is the report. Or you can ask it to summarize all your unread messages when you come back to the holiday, from the holiday. So here I have like 20 unread messages. I can just ask my AI assistant to summarize all my unread messages, so I don't have to spend a lot of time reading. There we go. Well-structured bullet points. Or if you want to pay attention to a specific colleague, let's say your boss, you can just ask AI to summarize them across all chat groups too. But don't worry, your AI can only see the message that you can see. It won't be able to see your colleague's message if you cannot see them yourself. So here's the message from a certain person. And if there are any message that are, let's say, unclear, for instance, this message, I don't know the specific context of this message. I want to know more. But instead of asking my colleague, hey, dude, say more the next time, I can just ask my AI, can you provide more context of this message? And there you go. It will read the whole thread and generate the context and help me learn more about this message. And when there are links or PDFs in the thread, which we often receive, you can also do a lot of things with that. You can save it to memo, or you can save it to co-memory. I'll introduce this concept later, but basically it's like notebook LM. Or you can ask your AI to summarize or provide more insights about this PDF without you even downloading it. And meanwhile, we know that there are some tasks that you often do with your AI. And there are some quick prompts that you can set up so you don't have to type every time. For example, summarize to do in the chat group. And these quick prompts can also be set into a specific reminder, for instance, a scheduled task. So every day, 8 p.m. or any time, it will send you all the summaries or all the follow-ups from the chat automatically. And here's one more thing. This is the co-memory, by the way. Just like Notebook LM, the difference is your whole group maintains this database, the co-memory of this chat group. So one more thing you can do with AI, you can collect client feedback, just like I'm showing here. So if you invite your clients to Tanka, or if you reply to your client, talk to your clients on email or on WhatsApp, and you integrate email and WhatsApp to Tanka, then Tanka will be able to summarize and collect all the client feedback and send to you in a beautifully summarized bullet point list. In the future, we also plan to integrate Tanka with CRM tools, so it's even more seamless. Now, I know you probably already cannot wait for a live demo, so let's welcome Alan to do a live demo with me here. Alan is our CMO. Over to you, Alan.
Sure. Hello, everyone. This is Alan. Thank Kisen for the great intro. So while Kisen introduces me as the CMO, right? In fact, I would say Tanka AI is my personal CMO, but this time not the chief marketing officer, but the chief memory officer, another CMO. So the reason why I say that is because Tanka, in my view, is really like a personal memory keeper. that helps me like keep up with everything at work, reminds me of my to-dos, and also provides me relevant context from the past conversations as a really reliable business partner. So in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be showcasing a live demo of how Tanka actually becomes my personal chief memory officer. I also see there are some questions coming in. Don't worry, please be patient. We'll be taking answers at the end of this webinar. So let me share my screen. All right, so you should be able to see this Tanka desktop version, and on the right-hand side, there's a Tanka mobile version. So let me explain this interface first, right? So this is a demo organization, and you can see on the left, there are two tabs like chat and a memory. So on the chat, you can see pretty standard. You can see like a live chat feed listed based on the timeline, and then in the middle, there's the chat window. You can see there's various integrations like with Slack, with WhatsApp. This is my AI assistant, and also with integrations with Gmail and Outlook, email and calendar. And then in the memory tab, you can see this is exactly what Kisan just described. On a daily basis, our AI memory actually analyze my follow-ups, my recaps, my insights, and decisions. And therefore, it provides a pretty neat and precise recap of my day-to-day work. So I can click in further to see like the source of certain follow-up reminders. And I can also like add memories, like sort of like a collaborative document. And I can also add team wiki. So this is basically a shared knowledge base where, like, for example, HR department can share like a HR policy, and IT department can share the IT department handbook, etc. So you can see we're working on various integrations like Gmail, Outlook, WhatsApp, Slack, and others. So essentially, Tanka is becoming the aggregator or the memory layer of all these your essential work applications. So let me demo a showcase, right? So right now, I will actually ask my colleague Iris to actually send me a message. Okay, so it's already in. So she's asking whether I'm free to have a quick call today at 5 p.m. So I have no idea about what my calendar is. I'll just click Smart Reply. Okay, so it says that I'm actually tied up that time. I've got a meeting, blah, blah, blah. So let me check if that is true, right? So I actually have a calendar here, and yes, I do have some meetings like around that 5 p.m. So that means the Tanka AI assistant actually check my calendar real time and provide that smart reply. So let us check on other questions as well. Maybe Iris, you'll send me another question. Cool. So she's asking my work progress, any updates. So based on the memories that I shown in the memory tab, right? So Tanka AI should be able to read my like recaps, achievements, insights, decisions, and therefore you can see there's a drafted response, basically pretty much accurate based on what we're happening right now. Cool. So this is what we have within the Tanka Messenger platform. So let's see the integrations with WhatsApp and Slack. So I will ask another colleague of mine, Andrew, to actually send me a WhatsApp message. Okay, cool. So in this WhatsApp integration, right, I can actually send and receive WhatsApp messages within Tanka. So so there's some previous conversations I have with Andrew, and he's now asking me, okay, let me send you a proposal for my e-signature was my email. So this is WhatsApp, right? So WhatsApp is not supposed to know my work email, but let's see what Tanka knows about my email. So it does understand the question and also have the information of my email address. So therefore, I can just send it. And Andrew on his end, he can actually see and receive this WhatsApp message. Let's take a look at Slack integration. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the message to come in. by the way, while we're waiting, right, we can actually add a certain message into my demo, my memory memo. So like, for example, save to memory, then it will become one of my Tanka memory memo. Then it will be shown here. Oops. Yeah. Okay, let me see if okay, yeah. So Henry has sent me a message on Slack. So same as WhatsApp, right? Within Tanka, I can receive and send message in between Slack and Tanka. So this is a question saying, okay, he's looking at my product now and he's asking some technical questions. What is Tanka's long-term memory technology? So again, Slack doesn't have that knowledge, and this knowledge is within Tanka. So therefore, when I click the smart reply, it actually gives a pretty accurate and detailed answer. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then so let me also demonstrate a few use cases that might be relevant to some of your roles as well. So let's say we have this group for product feedback. So here I'm asking a few people to provide Tanka product feedback in a certain specific format. And then, so what I'll do is, so this is like a normal group chat, right? And you typically like might not have time to actually read everything, right? So on the top right-hand corner here, you can actually pull out your AI assistant that naturally sits in your chat groups. And then, so I'll ask my AI assistant, can you summarize all these product feedback in the past few days for me? Okay. So you can see, yeah, it's in a pretty structured manner. It analyzes and summarizes all the past feedback provided by different members. So let me try to do one thing that is, let me upload my roadmap as a product manager. Let me upload my roadmap here. Okay, the purpose is to actually compare what I have received from different users and my current roadmap. And then I'll ask, based on this roadmap, can you help me determine the priorities of these requests? So it might take some time, like usually a few seconds, for AI to learn the document uploaded. Okay. So you can see, based on the summarized feedback, right, it is actually giving a reason in terms of why AI think this feature is high priority or medium priority or low priority. So based on that, right, if you are a PM, you will be doing this a lot. That is to reject the low priority requests from your users. So I'm now asking AI to help me draft a polite message to reject them on behalf of my peers, my product manager peers. Cool. So it's a context-aware, context-rich response based on all this group discussion. And what I'll have to do is to just copy and paste to whatever you want to distribute that message. Okay, so that is a product management use case, and let me share another one that is hiring recruitment. So here I have a group where I have a HR hiring manager and also a few talent acquisition manager here discussing like JDs, office policies, and we have received like 3 resumes that we need to evaluate and circle back to the candidates. Okay, so the scenario is that I needed AI to actually help me draft JD for me based on my actual need. So here's the prompt. Based on the JD and company policy, that my HR manager shared with me, please draft a relevant JD for this particular role. So this is a very detailed JD, and I can pretty much just copy and paste it to like LinkedIn or whatever job board I want to share. Then next is, let's see if AI can actually read the resumes in this chat group and even summarize and highlight the relevant work experience. Yeah, so you can see for each person, it highlights his or her relevant experience and previous experience and also relevant skills. So it's already like saving me a lot of time if I'm a hiring manager to review these three resumes side by side. Okay, then I'll even go one step further, that is to ask AI to make a decision for me in terms of who is the best hire. Okay, cool. While I actually didn't give AI my criteria or my principles of talent selection, it has its own evaluation criteria. And so it listed out all the pros and cons of each candidate. And at the end, AI decided this candidate is the best fit for this role. So let me complete the final step, that is to draft an offer letter to the candidate. So I didn't even mention like which candidate. So it understands it is an offer letter to the selected candidate. So it is also a pretty well formatted offer letter. So you can see from like the JD drafting to the final step, offer letter drafting. So it's an end-to-end experience just within Tanka. I'll share more use cases. This is for marketing, event operations. Here we are discussing a particular event that we need to participate or even sponsor. So we are evaluating some sponsorship details, some specific like booth setup, cost, etc. So there's a lot of details here, and then this person suddenly tell me that, hey, there's a delay in printing the flyers. So I will try to use Tanka to give her a smart reply. Okay, so this is a pretty standard response. And as a responsible manager, I would actually want to give a better response. So I would like to ask why it was delayed and provide some constructive suggestions. Let me be even more responsible to provide detailed suggestions. So, right, so it again saves me like probably 10 minutes in drafting the particular response to this colleague. And you can see it's pretty context aware. So it actually understands like when is the deadline and it's accurate. Yeah. So let me also showcase the AI assistant. For example, you could see that there was a lot of information up there about the booth setup and sponsorship, right? So let me ask, these are the nitty-gritty details that like most manager would miss, right? Like, so if someone suddenly asks me like, how is the booth, then I can actually like spend like 1 second to ask AI, and it gives me a very detailed answer. And I could also check like what were the details of the sponsorship that we pay for, right? It's always important to evaluate the ROI. So yeah, so these are the details that you oftentimes won't remember. But at the same time, AI helps you remember all the context. Or even some particular costs. Oh, by the way, I should probably also demo this mobile as well. So Yeah, okay, let me pull in. So it's the same. So let me ask the question here. What? Sorry. Oh, never mind. I think it's my mobile keyboard selection. Yeah, but never mind. I'll just showcase here. Oh, okay. You probably missed the cost of the furnitures in this document. But we can move on to another use case. For example, this is an IT manager. And then, so I'm a newly onboarded member, and it asked me to read this very long IT support handbook that I obviously didn't read. So I asked my AI to summarize the to-dos for me. Okay, so I asked the AI to summarize the to-dos from the handbook for me. As a new hires, I have a lot to read. Yeah, so it's pretty detailed, so I know the exact steps that I need to complete for my onboarding journey. So let's say one day I suddenly forgot the Wi-Fi password for my new device. I can ask the IT assistant. So it's like a personal help desk. So typically you might need to ask your colleagues or like find the IT manager for such information, but now you can ask the AI. Last but not least, I would also like to showcase how AI actually helps you craft a better professional message. So here's a scenario where Iris is chasing me for a design update by end of day today. And I try to reject her, saying like, this is really tight. We have 2P0 features that I need to finish today. And Iris said like, there's no way, it's a deal breaker. So I need to find a way to make it work. So if you don't have Tanka AI, right, probably you would say something like, it's not gonna work, boss, something like that. And usually maybe the day after you will no longer be in this company because you're fired. So in order to avoid that disaster, our AI can actually help you craft better message with higher EQ and higher IQ. So let's say my prompt here is politely push back and respond positively with constructive alternative professional feedback. So let's see what Tanka gives me. Okay, so I hear you on the urgency, blah, blah. Is it possible to circle back tomorrow? So it probably saved me from being fired. So it's how we actually help colleagues who struggle to sort of craft the right message in a professional corporate scenario. Yeah, so I think these are all the questions that these are all the use cases that I want to demo. Now, Kisen, let's go to the
Let's actually, Alan, I have some idea. We've been receiving a lot of questions from the floor, so from the audiences. So why don't we demonstrate using AI to answer some of the questions? Let me try this. I'll send you the question, and then you can copy and paste, and then send to your AI assistant, see if they can answer.
Sure. Yeah, you can put it in.
Are you confident?
Well, ask Tanka, right?
Okay, let me send you the first question. Does Tanka use users and my organization's data to train its AI model?
Okay, then I'll use my AI assistant. So the question is, does Tanka use my?
It's down there. I sent it to you. I sent it to you in the chat. So
Okay.
scroll down.
Oh, which? Sorry. Oh, right here. Okay.
Scroll down. Yep.
Now let me ask my chief memory officer. Okay, so it says it doesn't use your data and your organization data is not use to train our AI model. Yeah, so I
Right,
believe
that's pretty accurate. Let's try another question. Hi, Tanka team. Thanks for the demo. This is a cool product. Thank you. I'm wondering, where is Tanka's data stored?
yeah. So Tanka's data is on AWS data centers in the US and Singapore. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, let's try the last one. This one might be a little bit more difficult. I'm sending to your AI because I don't think I can answer it in a much more structured way than the AI. So here's the question. How's Tanka's long-term memory different from RAG?
Yeah.
A little bit nervous because this
For those who don't
could be
know,
a difficult question.
retrieval augmented generation. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
technology retrieval.
Yep. Nice. Okay, great.
Yeah, and the reason why AI assistant is able to answer such context relevant questions is because we have these information or background or knowledge base within our memory. Yeah.
Great.
So let me pass it over to you, Kitten. Thanks.
All right. Well, I think we'll leave some other FAQs to the end. But thank you for the amazing demo just now. Now, you can see that memgraph is really strong. And there's no other product that can extract useful memory or useful information from chats. Well, because first of all, you have to map all team members. And then there are chit chats and jumping among topics and complicated topic structures and implicit contexts. It's so on and so forth. And it's really a big challenge. But we asked ourselves, how do ourselves remember and structure memory? So when you think about your first day at school, let's say, you don't just recall a fact. You remember the smell of the classroom, the sound of the bell, the nervous excitement, and maybe the most handsome boy in your class. Your brain doesn't store memories like a filing cabinet. It weaves them into a rich, interconnected story. And the story serves your purpose. How do I grow? Same for teams. You and your colleagues don't just remember every conversation you had line by line. You remember with a structure, starting from the mission of the company to the object of your team to your OKR, and then how your every line of communication serves the OKR, and your progress of the same project by timeline. You recall more recent memories much better, much easier than further memories, so you work more efficiently. And most importantly, you connect the dots. You form abstract understanding or interpretation of things. You ask why and so what for every decision. That's how we build our mem graph too. It's inspired by neuroscience, and it's more human native. Here are a few advantages mem graph has compared to traditional retrieval augmented generation. Hierarchical structure. Mem graph doesn't just list the facts. It organizes them into layers. For example, if you ask, what's the budget for project X? It doesn't just show a number. It shows the adjustments, the reasons, the related projects. It's like your brain recalling not just the recipe, but the steps and mistakes you made along the way. Associative thinking. So when you mentioned project X, memgraph recall the contacts working on the project, and then the related projects. It's like your brain recalling not just the taste of an apple, but also the price and the market where you picked it. And 3 is abstract thinking. We human brains are very strong, very good at abstract thinking. And in fact, the whole world model is a compressed model. So if you ask, why did project X fail? Same for memgraph. It doesn't just list the reasons, it synthesizes insights. Okay, based on all these different reasons, the team seemed to underestimate the timeline, and the client changed the priorities. And the last is recent first. So when you ask, what's the latest on Project X? MemGraph surfaces the most recent updates. Even if you change the project name, it will be able to recall the most recent updates as well because it can connect the dots. So this is just like your brain instinctively knowing to check the fridge before the pantry. And with these powerful advantages, our MemGraph is more like your memory, is more native, and it's more efficient. And besides the MemGraph, we also built this award-winning multi-agent framework, Omni. Omni isn't just a chatbot. It's a proactive teammate. It learns your style, anticipates your needs, and adapts in real time. It's personalized and learns from your feedback. It's collaborative. Multiple agents handle scheduling, summaries, and insights seamlessly. And besides Omni and MemGraph, and there are way much more, this video will probably give you a better idea.
Every team is like a tree, growing with purpose, evolving through seasons of change. Each new leaf, like a team member, sparks curiosity. These questions rewind our journey, revealing threads of memory. For new members, it's not just the past, it's becoming part of the team. These collective memories are the foundation of growth. Data is captured, processed from internal and external sources. It becomes the team's personalized memory bank. When a query enters, relevant memories are retrieved and refined on demand, and ultimately delivering precise and context-aware smart replies and insights. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. With our causal inference engine, it analyzes context and uncovers cause-effect relationships, powering smarter decisions. With our multifunction calling framework, it bridges planning, reasoning, and execution to deliver seamless task automation. Together, this forms Memory Graph, our proprietary knowledge graph built on context, goals, and past conversations. Tanka brings these innovations to life. It starts with the essentials every business needs. Tanka's AI assistant is your go-to knowledge partner for brainstorming, focusing, analyzing, and decision-making. Learning, evolving, and capturing insights as a shared memory layer. Not just learn from within, but from all your connected tools. It's powered by our proprietary industry-leading multi-agent framework. Tanka, where memories fuel growth.
So today is just the very beginning. In our next versions, we'll integrate more tools with Tanka. We'll also transform search and AI with one integrated, seamless experience. And there are way much more to expect. Memory defines a person's identity, and collective memory defines a team's identity. The future belongs to teams that remember. And what we showed you today is more than just an evolution in collaboration. It's a revolution in intelligence. A world where our digital tools don't just store your words, but understand them. Where every decision, every conversation, every insight is part of an interconnected memory, making us collectively smarter. And Tanka is not just the future of messaging. It's the future of thinking and working. Again, thank you all for joining us in shaping the future. Together, we redefine how work works. And before we go to the Q&A, there are two more things I want to say. First is we are going live on Product Hunt in 4 hours, a little bit more than 4 hours. So please support us on Product Hunt by giving us a little upvote. And two, as you saw just now in Alan's demo, we basically built this demo organization so everyone can join and experience the magic of Tanka. So here's the QR code to join this organization. If you haven't downloaded Tanka yet, you can just take a screenshot of this slide, and then later on when you download Tanka, you use Tanka to scan this QR code to join this organization and try chatting with us. Our folks are all there, so if you have any feedback about Tanka, you can also send within that group. And there is also a little survey after this webinar. So if you fill in the survey and join the organization, we'll also have lucky draw. There will be $100 Amazon coupon, $50 and $30. So feel free to join and really let us know your feedback. And for those who are on Tanka as early users, we will ship to you the Tanka merch. So here is the t-shirt. And actually, we have more. So, in different colors, there's the bag, and there's the sticker, and there's the notebook. There are a lot of things coming on the way. So yeah, please join us onto this amazing journey of Tanka. Now, let's go to the Q&A. I know we have received a lot of questions already, and we have answered several of them. Now, let me see. There's a very interesting question from Alan Hu. How is Tanka different from Microsoft Rewind? Well, this is a very good question. Let me try to answer it. I think Microsoft Rewind, first of all, is, it uses the screen recording to record all your personal memory, especially your documents and your team, your meetings. So first of all, it's personal. And two, it's basically a database where you can retrieve information. Now, the difference between Microsoft Rewind and Tanka is that Tanka belongs to the team. So it's not personal. You have full control on what you want to retrieve memory from. So let's say if you integrate your email or WhatsApp to Tanka, there is a control button where you can specify which email domain you want to retrieve memory and which domain doesn't even go to Tanka. Same for WhatsApp, same for Slack. So you get control of what to be recorded or not. And two is Tanka is collective memory versus personal memory. So now we're building this personal AI for everyone, and you'll be able to see your memory, work memory on Tanka. But soon there will be collaborative memory. So within chat group, the group memory is going to be collaborative, and then everyone can basically contribute to that memory. Basically, it's just like Notebook LM, but for teams. So collective memory is quite different from personal memory, not only in terms of how the technology differs, but also in terms of like how you can use the memory. When different people, basically, when all of your team is on this Notebook LM, is on this project and maintain the memory together, your team can evolve, your AI can evolve with the team, not only with you. And so you will be able to ask, maybe very soon you'll realize that your AI is even more smarter than you. It knows more about this team's progress than you. So that's the second difference. And another difference is in terms of the technology. Well, I mentioned about the difference between memgraph and RAG. So a typical database like Microsoft Rewind basically stores all your information, and that's called database. It's flat without hierarchy. It's data points, and you can retrieve information. But if you ask more complicated information, like, tell me the progress of this project X, throughout the timeline, or tell me, why someone called Alex left our organization 10 months ago. And for those complicated questions, right? Or tell me what my boss thinks about how my boss thoughts on memory graph evolved throughout the years. So if you ask these complicated questions, it wouldn't be able to process. But if you ask Tanka, it will be able to process because the memory graph is intelligent. So these are the differences. You have full control, it's collaborative memory, and it has associative and abstract thinking based on the mem graph. I hope that answers. Now, the second question, how do you segregate and differentiate from the personal data and professional data? Because a lot of personal things are sent on social, whether it, or on WhatsApp. Now, how secure is the data in terms of safety and credibility? Well, thank you for this question. So as mentioned in the previous question, you have full control. When you integrate email or integrate WhatsApp, so currently you don't currently you can blacklist some of the senders of your email and WhatsApp. But that blacklist only applies to Tanka. Basically, those emails or WhatsApp messages or Slack messages don't come into Tanka, but you will still be able to see them on your own email or WhatsApp server. Now, very soon, actually, in 2 weeks, we'll introduce this blacklist version or whitelist version where you will be able to select the specific email domains or chat channels or senders that you want to extract memory from. And for others, we don't, we just show you their emails or their messages, but we don't extract memories from those chats. So basically, you have full control. I hope that answers your question too. And in terms of the data security and safety, we're definitely just like our Tanka AI assistant said, we're definitely safe because first of all, we are encrypted and our server is in the US, and we basically don't use the data to train our model, and we don't send the data to train the ChatGPT model either. And in the future, we'll also introduce like on the RAM. So basically it will be even safer for like enterprises. But for now, we suggest like smaller teams to use the project, the product, because it's on the cloud. Now, the next question, does Tanka integrate with Instagram chat? Not yet. We don't yet integrate with Facebook Messenger, Instagram chat, or iMessage, because they're more difficult to integrate with, but we are still finding a way. So we'll let you know. Now, another question. Great tool. Thank you. Does Tanka support multi-cloud environment? And for external apps that may have API restrictions or paid access for API, will this limit Tanka as well? Yeah, those are very interesting questions. So first of all, multi-cloud environment. We hope we'll be able to support very soon, but currently we are still a startup. This product is a beta launch, so we've only been building this product for less than a year. And there are a lot of things that are incomplete, that are yet, still on the roadmap. But this is definitely a request that we receive from our clients very often. So this will be in our roadmap in the future. And if you have more, requests or feedback, please keep them coming, because the advantage of a startup like us, as compared to, giants like Slack or Teams, is that we are very adaptive, and we evolve fast to the client feedback, to the feedback that you give to us. And your second question, for external apps that may have API restrictions, well, indeed, there are a lot of apps that are with API restrictions, Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger being a few of them. And so for those tools that are more difficult to integrate, basically, we'll try to find ways, but it's possible that there's no way to hack into it or to use it. And if that's the case, then there's in the near future, there's probably there are limited access to those tools. But in the further future, when there is RPA or there is like multifunction call from those agents, then we probably will be able to accomplish some tasks. But that is very dependent on how large language models or the agent framework evolves. The next question, is Tanka's long-term memory capability built on top of MEM0, an open source long-term memory infrastructure? No, we've talked to MEM0. We love their team, by the way. They're very, very innovative, and there are a lot of other innovative teams out there. But the thing is, individual memory is very different from collective memory. And also, the memory when you talk to your AI assistant is very different from when you chat with your colleagues. Like when you chat with your colleagues, you sometimes say, hey, thank you, or do you want to have lunch together, or happy birthday, something like that. And you don't say to your AI assistant. So there are way much more chit chat when it comes to like you chatting with your colleagues. And there's also this, jumping topics, as I mentioned. So A and B talking about one thing, and then C jumps in and say, hey, by the way, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this project, and how does it go? So the topics are, changing and changing all the time, and there are a lot of implicit context that you probably don't encounter when you're talking with AI assistant. So the memory graph that people build for individuals when they chat with AI assistants are very different from the memory graph that we built here. And basically, when we go into the industry and try to find inspirations, we found that actually we have to build something on our own because we're so different from others. And collective memory is also very different because every time you need to, before you extract memory, you have to have the AI understand who this person is within this whole organization and what is this person's relationship with all the other people in the organization so that your extraction of memory is more meaningful. So yeah, we love their team, but our technologies are slightly different. Now the last question, is memgraph of your product open source? We do not do open source yet. We're still building this technology. There are a lot of other things that need to be built. This is like still product in evolvement in progress. So we'll open source maybe in the future, after we fully develop this memgraph technology. But it will be like in a few years at least. But yeah, thank you for this question. Now we're 2 minutes to the end of the webinar. Oh, there is another question coming. How Tanka manages memory in the long run, for instance, when facing substitution, alteration, and updates. Yeah, that's actually a very big challenge. So for instance, when you have updates, for instance, like the company name, the project name, or even the company mission, or your staff, right, turnover, and there are different people, previous manager, product manager called Vincent, and then now later on it's called Alex. So all these updates need to be taken into consideration upon the building of the mem graph. So we can cover the previous knowledge with the new knowledge points, but we don't let the previous knowledge go because for organizations, history also matters. And so basically this mem graph theoretically can store as much data as possible. But of course, later on we'll introduce pricing plan. So if you have like too much data and years of data, then you have to pay for the storage and the processing of data. But in theory, it can store forever, and basically every time you have new progress of anything, it will go on with the data. We will organize the things in terms of topics, in terms of there's hierarchy, and so every evolvement of the same project of the same thing will be structured into the same topic, so that you will know the timeline and you will know the latest update. I hope that answers the question. I love it when there are so many questions coming and people are so curious about this product. And thank you also a lot about for your great feedback of our product. I hope you like it. Again, please join our demo organization so that you can experience the magic and you can share with us your feedback. All right, let's see if Ellen has anything to add.
Nope, nothing else from my side.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining. Hope you enjoyed this webinar. And if you find Tanka useful, please let more of your friends and colleagues know. Thanks again. Stay in touch. Bye.